On today's video, let's ruin a rust-free 240. Alright, so our first step to ruining this 240 and cutting up these clean quarters is getting the wheel off. So look, I get the wheel off. Alright guys, now with the wheel off, let's move you in a little closer here. So what we're going to be doing today is installing a set of Origin 50mm over fenders. It is debatable on if this is ruining a rust-free chassis, but I like big wheels. Big wheels won't fit stock body, so the only option is to cut it up and put some nice fiberglass overs on. So your first step here is going to be draw out where you're going to cut. To do that, we're going to get some painter's tape here. And we're just going to follow the wheel arch here. The over fender covers everything from the door back to the taillight, so it's really hard to fuck this up. Only thing you want to be wary of is don't want to get too close to the gas door lid, because the over is cut around the gas door lid. So if you get into it, you're not going to have a gas door. You don't got to overthink this too much. You don't got to be crazy. You don't got to cut all the way up to the window in here. Realistically, the wheel rim is going to be here, tire's going to be at this line, so you only want a couple inches of clearance on top of what we already have here. Take a step back, eyeball it. Looks pretty good. We're going to follow this tape line. We're going to start here, right in the wheel well. We're going to go follow the middle of this line all the way up. We're only going to cut through this first outer layer of the quarter panel. So now we have the quarter panel cut in our shape we want. I want a little inside the tape lines just because you can always cut more. You can't really go back. Well, I guess you can go back and add metal, but not as easy as just going back and cutting more. All we want to do now is we want to fold this lip out so we can get to the inside here to cut this chunk away. What we're going to be doing is hammering this inside lip up to that and welding it. Which might be a little difficult because these fenders have been, or quarters have been pretty aggressively rolled. So this inside lip here is pretty folded over and strong. Alright, so now we're at this point. We have the inner lip exposed fully. This outside quarter panel piece is now folded out of the way. We can come in here, we can cut this basically just along this edge so we can free up this whole outside piece to come off. And then we'll begin cleaning up this edge for welding and hammering this outwards and getting this deadening material off. Alright, so now we got to cut to a point where you can start hammering this lip up and into itself. Tape off. That should be plenty of clearance because the wheel before the tire was touching here. It's going to tuck a little bit. This car is not going to be a Pro-Am or anything special with super high horsepower chasing grip. It's going to be more of a street car style car where it's going to be low, but it's going to be on a little stiffer suspension, not have that much wheel travel. So we'll start hammering it. We may have to come in here and cut a little bit more out to get the metal a little more flex to move, but it's going to be a lot of hammering. So let's get started. So I did go back. I cut a little bit more of that lip. I realized it was still folded over from being rolled. That made that a little too stiff. So now it's nice and flexible, so we can get in here and start hitting away on it. Alright, so I have it pretty close all the way around. I'm going to start cleaning up these edges so I can start tacking here and back here as I move along with hammering. Because every time I hammer this side's going to start pulling down. It's going to be a game of give and take here. So let's clean up all these edges, throw a decent amount of tacks on here to hold it, and then we can start moving back up to the top of the arch. So maybe it's a good thing we are hacking this up, because I just discovered this quarter panel has a skim coat of Bondo on it. So it's been hitting this quarter at least one time before. So maybe now I don't feel as bad for cutting it up. Alright guys, so I got the welder all set up here. I'm going to start laying a couple tacks on this. We'll see what the camera footage does. I never filmed welding. But we'll turn it down to a pretty low amperage here. And we'll get going here. I'm just going to follow this edge around once I find the hammer again. Alright guys, it's a few hours later. My camera did die. I did get the whole quarter welded and I did cut off the excess. So this is what we're working with here. It's not the prettiest thing. The next step would be optional. It's to grind all this down relatively flush, which I'm going to go ahead and start doing here, and grind it down, see what pinholes show up. When those pinholes show up, throw a tack on it, grind it back down, and just try to make it look a little more presentable. It is all covered with an over fender, but I know it's going to be under there, so I'll go ahead and bust out the grinder and start having some fun. Alright, so after all the grinding, this is what we're left with here. Not the prettiest, but it will get the job done. It will be sealed. We will add some seam sealer just to this outside edge here, just to make sure no smoke gets into the inside the cabin. We are installing, not sure in this video or the next, some Origin Type 3 55mm fenders. But I will give a little sneak peek in this video here. Get you guys back on the tripod here. I just picked up these fenders from Toge Factory today and sold the 40s or 50s that came with the car. So these are the Type 3 55mm overs. I did kind of already cheat you guys and test fit it once already. A lot of people talk trash about Origin. I don't think this is the worst fitting thing I've ever tried before. Yeah, it's a little warped just from sitting on a shelf for who knows how long at Toge Factory or in Japan or wherever in a shipping container. We get it like that, and then I do have a vice grip somewhere to push this bottom side in, but with that bottom side in, you can imagine a rivet here, a rivet there. Trim this top edge down with rivets on it. This back portion is pressed out because I still have the corner light on the actual quarter itself, but I think once it's all riveted down, blow torch it and kind of form in a couple areas that fit better. Yeah, it's not overall that bad. I will need a small, probably like 10mm spacer once I trim up these fenders. Because right now, currently, when you press this down against the body, it's a hair sunk. Honestly, I might be able to get away with it. But I'll probably run a 10mm slip on. Also, when I went to TF today, I did pick up some goodies. Got a Circus Sports transmission mount, extended studs, got some stance, aluminum subframe bushings, and then I ordered complete set for the rear of adjustable arms. They only had the toe arm in stock, so that's the toe arms. I'm waiting for the other arms to come in. I did already install the front extended lug nuts just so I could test fit this wheel. This is with the BCs that are in it maxed out on camber wise. I think once it's on the ground, I may be able to put some positive camber back into it. We'll have to see. While I was at TF, I did go ahead and order a brand new set of XR1s for the car, so they are building those, and I should be able to pick them up in about a week or so. I'm hoping maybe I get the coils in, overs on, car on the ground, add my sensors I need for this engine, and be able to drive it for a few weeks before snow and salt hits the road. But that might be a little optimistic. We'll have to see. I did order seat brackets too, so I can get my seats mounted. Once all that comes in and is installed, the car will technically be drivable again. And at that point, when it does start snowing, we can put it back in here and we can start the trans swap, painting the bay, undercoating everything. Yeah, so that's the sneak peek on everything. I think next video is going to be actually installing these over fenders and getting them completely on, fitting them, showing you guys how to fit them, and going from there, because there is some fitment issues, like this is hitting the back quarter a little bit, but there we go. We can see it's flared out there. Show you guys how to form that back. Taillight area is what most people told me would suck, but that seems to be straight. It's just the line cuts a little wonky. That can all be trimmed. And here's a little flared out also. Let me show you guys a trick to get that back in line. But yeah, I'm going to get started. I'm going to get the other quarter panel done and cut. and then I'll start filming, actually installing the overs. But for the time being, guys, if you guys can go ahead, like, and subscribe to this video, really helps me out, and I can get working on getting the next one out to you guys. Peace.